My name is Damilola Ajibade. I am a Nigerian from the Yoruba tribe. I arrived in New Brunswick, Canada in 2018 with my family through the provincial nomination program. I am covering the journey and stories of other newcomers and immigrants here in New Brunswick, Canada, because I find that our stories are unique, although similar. I also find that we draw strength from the stories of one another, and I really think it's important for us to learn to hear the stories of those that have been ahead of us. When I was coming to New Brunswick, Canada, I heard all kinds of stories about New Brunswick. Part of it was that New Brunswick was such a small city that I was not going to be able to make it with my family here. It was that there were really no opportunities for us to live here. But here I am, counting my 4th year already in New Brunswick, and I am still loving it. I am doing this, amplifying the journeys of newcomers and immigrants, because there is value in giving that voice to one another. We inspire ourselves, we create a path for others coming behind us, and we give hope to those who have been here but do not have understanding on how to navigate their path living in New Brunswick or in Canada as newcomers. On my day-to-day job, I get to meet all kinds of people from different countries. I've met people from Egypt, several people from Nigeria, people from Jamaica, people from Algeria, people from all over the world. And there is one common thing that I find to each one of these people. It is that there are struggles that we face here as newcomers. Part of it, especially for the entrepreneurs, is that we hardly find that opportunity to promote ourselves because we are mostly only familiar to the communities that we recognize or that we have come from or that we have similar cultures, similar values with. But we are only a percentage of those who live here in New Brunswick. And so I thought, how could we provide a platform to promote ourselves, to promote our products, to promote our values, to promote our cultures, to promote what we do? The Journey Amplified is an opportunity for us to give that amplification to our voices, to our journeys, to our stories, to our values, to our cultures. The Journey Amplified is an opportunity for us to educate the people around us about who we are, about the backgrounds that we have, about where we come from. As a Nigerian, I lived all my life in a city called Lagos. Living in Lagos is very different from living in New Brunswick. New Brunswick is quiet. It's very family friendly, very family oriented, very minimal crime. But then we find that there are those differences in the culture, differences in the way of life. In Lagos, Nigeria, we are big on nightlife, we're big on partying and partying with large crowds. Nigeria has over 200 million people, and over 70 million of those people live in Lagos. As you can imagine, I come from a very, very populated city. And so the culture shock here for me is huge. And talking about the weather in Lagos, Nigeria is summer all through the year. So it's really different and interesting for me to experience the 4 different seasons here in Canada. Canada and today New Brunswick is becoming a very diversified community. We have people from Asia, we have people from Africa, we have people from the Caribbean, we have people from all over the world coming to make New Brunswick home. It's important for us to understand the cultures, to understand the traditions that we all bring to make New Brunswick, Canada, a highly diversified province. And so it is my pleasure to bring together why we're here, the values that we bring, the cultures that we bring. What is immigration about to New Brunswick? Why is it so important? The food from different cultures, the clothing, the fashion, it all just brings everything together. If we have fairs where we could showcase all of these different cultures, bring everything together, it only makes New Brunswick and Canada all much more interesting and more diversified. So I invite you, all cultures around. I invite entrepreneurs. I invite volunteers, people doing different things across their communities, as newcomers, as immigrants here in Canada. I invite us all to come share our journey. Let's share our culture. Let's share the things that we're doing in New Brunswick to make New Brunswick a much more beautiful, cultured, and fully diversified community. On the Journey Amplified, we seek to amplify the beautiful journeys of different cultures, different nationalities, and different persons across New Brunswick, Canada. I will be your host on The Journey Amplified, amplifying your journeys to inspire you and to inspire others outside the country. I welcome you all to amplify your journey. Well, it feels good to be open back up again. We're going to get the feelers of people who attended. We have some international students and newcomers who just joined and moved into Moncton here. Yeah, so how is this important? How much value is attached to the work that you do?
Yeah, so we're really excited about welcoming everyone here today. It's been about 3 years since we've been able to hold events. So last week we held a newcomer job fair. This week's our settlement fair. So we're excited about this because it's an opportunity for people to finally really connect in person, to meet with service providers and know about all the different aspects of our community, from volunteering to networking, entrepreneurship services, government services as well. So it's just a great opportunity to get out, meet people, and to really take advantage of the services that are available once you do arrive.
Awesome. How does this impact the growth and the immigration strategy for Moncton?
Yeah, so we have some pretty high targets in terms of the amount of people that we want to move to our community. And we know that last year we welcomed around 2,300 international students and about the same amount of newcomers that had moved here. A lot of people have actually just moved here since the pandemic had happened too, because there was a delay in them being able to move. So I've seen so many people that have just moved here in the last month, 4 days, 6 days, which is really exciting. Some of these people I met with probably about 2 years ago, virtually, or even a year prior to that. So really our goal is more than seeing people obviously as numbers. Yes, we have a certain amount of people that we would like to welcome here because we have a lot of available jobs in Greater Moncton, and we want our economy to continue to thrive. But we do recognize that when people are moving here, they're moving here with their families, right? And we want them to feel welcomed and at home and included in every aspect of life. So it's an exciting time for Moncton.
It's the first day of the Atlantic Roadshow run by Tribe Network, and this is for the Black Startup Project. I have with me one of the panelists for the roadshow, and here with me is Georges Nana. Georges is the founder of AXA Business, and he does have a passion for growing and helping his community, especially with people of color, and we're going to hear from Georges as to how he found this passion. So Georges, do you want to tell us what brought about this passion? Why do you have so much passion to run this business?
Oh, thank you a lot for the opportunity to share about my passion. So my passion is coming from a very big frustration, firstly. It's like a kind of complex, but I used to work a lot with people from different parts of the world doing the passion lunch business, life, the dreams, and help people. So when I was just teenager, I started to develop my own activity with my community, sell some fruit, some different kind of tool I just find, I sell them. So I develop a passion about help people to find their way in the business. So yeah, we have the opportunity to meet people, to give them the shine they would like, to help them create a life they dream. So it's why I'm finding my passion.
Do you want to speak a bit about what exactly you do, what your business is? It's Access Business, pardon me, Access Business?
Yes, it's exactly Access Business. We are doing accounting and project management for non-for-profit, particular or small businesses. We work a lot with francophone people because we know that here we have a lot of people from diverse backgrounds and they would like to have support, they would like to draw business. So here we are, we can help them to get funding, to help them to manage the finance and plan the future of the business. This is the main work of Access Business today.
That's amazing. Do you have what is the data on the number of businesses that you have helped till date? How many businesses?
Yes, today I can say we have like almost 100 business in particular. Yes, with the financial and accounting needs. Now we have 5 big companies working with us with as administration and financial lead, so we can support people here. And we also knew that with the pandemic, company used to find difficult to access to labor. So we decided to create a big team, train and expert people who can support as consultant different kind of organization. So I am proud to say we serve more than 100 company and people today.
Amazing. Is there a particular target market that you're looking at to support?
Yes. Our mission is to create economic development in community from Africa, from different backgrounds. So we know to create equity in our community, we have to help everyone to be on the top, to be able to create, to develop, and be proud of themselves. So we are really focused about black people, about people from Africa, to help them to develop the business. That's our focus right now.
Amazing. Thank you, Georges Nana from Access Business.
You're very welcome. I appreciate it.
And here we have Tosin Ajibola from Welcome You. He is the founder of Welcome You, amongst other co-founders. Tosin is going to be telling us what he does at Welcome You and what started this vision.
Okay, so thank you so much. My name is Tosin Ajibola. Actually, one of the co-founders. Yeah, so 4 of us started the company out of a program in TME at the University of New Brunswick, and it was honestly just us sitting around the table one day brainstorming about the various issues that we faced moving to Canada, right? Moving to a small city, New Brunswick, small province, which wasn't really popular among Nigerians, right? A lot of Nigerians coming to Canada would rather want to go to Toronto, Ontario, want to go to Ottawa, Montreal, and the big cities that you hear about on the news and all of that. But we came here because we saw an opportunity, right? And we saw an emerging market where there was a lot of room for growth, a lot of room to create. But we also had the hurdles, we also had all the issues, right? And navigating through those issues over time, we realized that we could actually create something of value to help all the newcomers who are going to make that move to come to New Brunswick as well, who are going to call New Brunswick home. So pretty much Welcome You is, we like to call it a settlement technology company, right, that builds product to help people transition from their home country to Canada, right? Of course, in this case, with, of course, the goal hopefully is to make the brand big enough for a lot of immigration-friendly countries, but we see ourselves as a bridge between your home country to your new home, right? All the things you need, from your accommodation, helping with financial literacy, connecting you with other organizations that can help you, right, with essential and even non-essential services that you'll need, because it's a brand new life, right? Irrespective of things that you've done. Yes, you can come with that experience, but there's a whole lot of adventures and new things that you have to learn. So many things from your past that you probably even have to unlearn, right? About people's culture, that people have made assumptions over time. So there's so many things that you just have to have an open mind about coming into Canada. And we started officially in August of 2021. Right, the company was incorporated in 2020 during the COVID year, but of course we couldn't operate. Immigration was slow, but over time it's been a learning experience, learning from different people, different cultures, and also exposing them to the things that we had access to. Right, mentors, people. You want to start a business, this is who you speak to. You want to go to school, these are the people you can talk to as well. This is the community who you can reach out to, and it has really been great. We've had people from Nigeria. We have the most from Nigeria because that's pretty much where we focused a lot of our efforts starting out. We've had people from Dubai, we've had people from Sri Lanka, we've had people from Cameroon. Where else? Quite a number of people from some East African countries as well. It's really been great, and we're just starting out, and New Brunswick is opening up so much to immigrants now and newcomers, and we can see the benefits of having these people around. So we're happy to continue to play our role in making sure that newcomers feel comfortable and feel at home here, right? And New Brunswick becomes a family name outside of Canada, and one of those. So yeah, that's pretty much our goal and dream at Welcome You.
Okay, here we have Clinton Davis from Black Atlantic. We would like to get to know you, know what Black Atlantic is about.
Absolutely. Black Atlantic is a platform online, a social media site, website, and networking hub where every week we release a video and audio podcast highlighting issues in Atlantic Canada that relate to people of color, specifically Black people. We also interview a different guest every other week to uplift the unheard voices in the Maritimes. One of the biggest problems I found in watching the news out here is that media doesn't tend to focus on issues specific to people of color unless it has to do with racism, pain, something really bad that happened in the world, someone killed by a police in the States. And we wanted to show New Brunswickers and all Maritimers that Black people are so much more than that. So we interview people in tech, science, healthcare, politics, authors, writers, of course musicians and stuff like that. But our goal is to just slowly, week by week, and through our weekly blogs and other things, show Atlantic Canada the diversity of Black people, that Black people are not all the same. We come from many different countries with many different opinions, viewpoints, cultures, ways of life. The one thing we do all share in common is we don't want to be oppressed because of the color of our skin or face racism. But other than that, we just want to show the diverse diaspora of everything that Blackness is.
That's amazing. How long have you been doing this for?
Just over 2 years now.
That's awesome. So how many interviews have you run till date?
I've personally been a part of about 50 plus interviews, ranging from, not only people in the Maritimes, Jean Augustine, who was like aide to the Prime Minister back in the day, many Black politicians from Ontario, and again, all the other disciplines that I mentioned. Yeah, but over 50 people.
Yeah. Are you seeing impacts on what you do already?
All the time.
Awesome.
We have a lot of people commenting on our posts, our videos. We have a lot of people who have reached out to us just saying thank you for existing. I grew up in a small town, not me, people saying they grew up in a small town feeling isolated. They didn't realize that people, shared these concerns or had these issues, and they just felt a sense of comfort from seeing a network out there that they can relate to. We're really humbled and happy about the impact we've been able to have.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Clinton, giving a voice to people of color out here. It's been a pleasure speaking to you and hearing more about what you do at Black Atlantic.
Thank you for your time. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Clinton. All right, and here we have Olaitan Onyebuha, who supports newcomers, immigrants, people of color on so many different platforms. There is the BBPN, which is the Black Business Professional Network. She is also the founder of Oak Ridge Consulting, which is an educational provider consulting platform, and also she runs immigration services as well. Olaitan, can you tell us a bit about your passion and why and how you founded all of these platforms just to support newcomers?
Yeah, thank you so much, Dami, and thanks for the opportunity to be here today. I came to Canada in 2014, and on arrival, I realized that there are so many people that do not have, solutions, to my pain point. Just because as an international student that I just arrived with children, it has never happened before. Most of the students were like young, single, and all that. So every pain point actually came with the challenges that I had to manage, and I realized that along the line, some of my friends and students were literally interested in coming to Canada. And because I'm already here, the questions they're asking is something that I have faced as an obstacle, and I overcame. So it kind of gave me that opportunity to be able to share my story, to share my advice and suggestions, and lo and behold, every one of them, became successful. We started growing as a community, facing the same challenges. So that kind of behooved me to kind of create a platform, Oak Ridge, General Services, to be able to help international students from Nigeria, Ghana, to get themselves prepared for the life, because it's like leaving the known for the unknown. That was how Oak Ridge started. And along the line, as a temporary resident, postgraduate-wise, I couldn't, establish my business here at that time because of the conditions and the eligibility requirement. So the only way for me was to just register a business. So I reached out to friends back home and I registered my business, and I was able to register it here. So that was how the journey started. Funding was not available because we do not have access to that information. So, you might just go online, you type something, it brings up a lot of things, and you become so overloaded with information. So the trend continued. We had to start self-funding ourselves as a full-time worker. So then I realized also that this business, Oak Ridge Consulting, has a particular aspect that I couldn't delve into. And this has the potential of not allowing students to get into Canada. Some of them get into the hand of ghost consultants. And the job that Oak Ridge has done from like 70% becomes a wasted effort. So that came a need. And for me, I always listen for need. That helps me to envision the future. So I now felt that, okay, what is the next gap that I need to cover? That's the immigration, making sure that people access the right information, they don't fall into the hand of ghost consultants. So I enrolled by then I became a permanent resident. I enrolled in Canada, in Ashton College, Vancouver, as a domestic student in the immigration consulting diploma. And the journey started and led to the birth of 7th Laurel, which became incorporated last year. And the word 7th is significant to me because that's the 7th year of me being in Canada. And the number 7 is the number of completion as a person of faith. So, and that was like the 7th accomplishment that I have had. So the 7 just came knocking, and that's the story. Along the line, all the struggles of a Black entrepreneur was visible, and that kind of gave me that inspiration to talk to people with like minds, to see how we can come together as a community to help ourselves, to empower ourselves, and keep the resources within so that we can also use our strength to build a diversified and a growing economy for the Black in New Brunswick. So the idea of Black Business and Professional Network came up, and it's still been a journey that we are taking one day at a time. But I know down the line, we're looking to create a hub where people are empowered through education, through mentorship. As the name implies, you will see here, it is to empower Black business to actually create value through sustainable and efficient growth in all aspects. So efficient growth will only come when you have this strength in a diverse people with different knowledge, different financial background, and that's how the story continues.
That's amazing, Olaitan. How many clients in total have you assisted on all these platforms in total?
Yeah, so I am more of a social entrepreneur because when people come through the door, I ask them, what is the need? What is your buying power? Because you all know from Nigeria, we have the issue of foreign exchange fluctuations. So that actually impacts people's ability to come into Canada with the right amount of money. Say, for instance, somebody have 10 million naira. By the time you convert the 10 million naira, you could just get like something like 20,000 or 24,000. That actually limits the person's ability. So coming through, I have been able to assist people, even paid and unpaid, to settle in Canada, almost 300 people. And as of today, in our Telegram group page, we have the page for pre-arrival and planning. This page helps people to source accommodation, find accommodation for them. We go and do the viewing, all at no cost. Last year, we were able to help over 70 people, secure that information on accommodation, and they settle with ease. Then we also have another page where we call Strictly Immigrant Professional. We have over 100 people there. So we share information, any information that would empower people. That's what we do. So for 7th Laurel, we had our first win recently. Somebody has been approved to come to Canada, and we hope to do more. This was based on the person's buying and paying power. Thank you.
That's amazing. Helping hundreds of new Canadians settle down. Well, thank you so much, Olaitan. It's been a pleasure speaking with you and learning about you. We hope to see more of what you do and how you impact the community.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dami.
And it's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching the show. If you have any questions or if you have specific cultures, things you want to learn about newcomers here in New Brunswick, you can send an email just to the email here at the bottom of the screen. Thanks again and see you soon.